Jurassic World Rebirth is introducing a ton of new dinosaurs to the franchise, but probably the one that's gotten most people talking is the Distortus Rex, an animal that has some sort of cryptic origins within an old Jurassic Park research facility that was revamped in order to create something else way later in the timeline. Now, like I said, this creature's gotten a lot of people talking, and I wanted to dive into some of the new information that's come out for the beast and go over my own theories as to what we can expect to see from it in the new film. What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now, I really want to talk about the Distortus Rex and its relationship to the Mutadons on this brand new Jurassic Park island. I've been a fan of this franchise my whole life, and I literally just got done rewatching the Lost World Jurassic Park the other day, so I'm on a high from that whole adventure. I've loved these movies for like ever, but I was pretty let down over Jurassic World Dominion and some of the other stuff that's come out from the franchise recently. So when it comes to this new sequel, I have a lot of questions that I think are going to need to be answered for a solid canon entry to be good in this series. Now, for starters, this brand new image of the Distortus Rex that has just been released to the public is kind of crazy, and if you look right here down in the corner of the picture, we can see the words interspecies symbiosis. Now, I gotta say, this is kind of shocking to me because it means that the dinosaurs in Jurassic World Rebirth may not actually be mutated or failed experiment versions of normal animals like what a lot of people thought, but they are instead the very first attempts to make hybrid dinosaurs for use in the Jurassic World theme park. Now, what this could mean for the franchise is kind of significant because if that's true, it means that something like Camp Cretaceous, which said that Dr. Wu created the first hybrid, which was the Scorpius Rex before the Indominus, well, all of that may not actually be in the official timeline anymore. And interspecies symbiosis, though, that definitely suggests that there's something more than just Tyrannosaurus and its genome. But what the other animal is, I have no idea. It could be something mammalian from what it looks like a gorilla or something, I guess. But I have a hard time understanding what kind of other theropod dinosaur would be in its genetic code. It doesn't look like these giant legs and the distorted head could be from something like a Giganotosaurus or an Allosaurus or anything like that. I have a really hard time understanding what that thing is mixed with if it's another species unique to the T-Rex. Personally, I do prefer the idea of it being just a messed up T-Rex more than an early hybrid, and I'll explain why in just a bit. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about the other information that came out on this info sheet. These words contain Type C pressurized containers, which is a question in and of itself. Why in the world was an animal like this inside of a gigantic pressurized container in the first place? I mean, like, what were they even planning on doing with it? Look, a theory that I actually think could help make this whole operation a little more interesting would be if these new dinosaurs in question really were failed experiments, maybe even related to the work of the pharmaceutical company in Jurassic World Rebirth that was looking for a cure for heart disease. I think that's the plot of the overall film. Like, imagine if InGen in the late 2000s was cloning dinosaurs with stronger hearts while also tampering with their genetic code in order to help accommodate the larger chambers of the organs within the animals, or even down to the size of the veins in their bodies, something like that. And when the increased amount of oxygen got mixed with the switching on and off of different genetic codes in their DNA, it accidentally distorted what the dinosaurs looked like and created these monstrous looking creatures in the island of the Distortus Rex and the Mutadons. But that leaves us with the Mutadons themselves, and I honestly, I think these are just Pteranodon and Velociraptor hybrids. I have no idea why they would even want to make something like that, but the way this film seems to be going, the Distortus Rex and these other new creatures look like they're just failed prototypes of what would become the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor, which I do like how David Koepp could, in theory, be trying to make the whole franchise tie into each entry cohesively, but I'm not so sure that this is the coolest idea to go forward with for either of the animals back backstories. Interspecies symbiosis definitely makes the Distortus Rex out to be something of a weird hybrid. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Again, I don't really know what other dinosaur it could be mixed with or why they've been keeping it in this pressurized tank, unless it could have something to do with future research, which again, I think the concept of this thing tying into the heart disease plot could make for the most cohesive fun. It just really doesn't look like that's what they're doing though with the whole interspecies symbiosis thing they've described. One last theory, the one way it could work as a failed experiment tyrannosaur is if it was DNA from just two completely normal T-Rexes that were mixed together to make a bigger animal for Jurassic World, and it accidentally came out like this. That makes sense, I guess, if you kind of think about it, but again, why not just clone a bigger one? So yeah, it is looking like it's some sort of early hybrid dinosaur. Now, we all know that hybrid dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park franchise are something that is a little controversial to say the least. The Indominus Rex is a very popular animal. The Indoraptor, I think, is a really cool looking design, but there was a lot of flack that this franchise caught for not just sticking with normal dinosaurs and instead going for these weird mutant, like crossbred animals. Personally, I think it worked well enough at the time, but it did get old very, very quick. I don't really hate the idea of hybrid dinosaurs, and I think if you're going to do like a prototype version, it actually does make sense for there to be some sort of failed creature before the Indominus. And I'm just gonna say right here, I really like the way the Distortus Rex looks, because it does look like a monster that was messed up like years and years ago in Jurassic Park in some lab tucked away somewhere on a deserted island. I think that's cool. The Mutadons, look man, I really don't think the Mutadons are anything other than a prototype for the new animals that Engine was trying to make that ultimately led to the Indoraptor, and I gotta say the Indoraptor looks way cooler than this weird Godzuki thing. I mean, I don't know, man. The design just doesn't work for me. Like, it looks like a bat thing that lives in the hollow earth of the Monsterverse. With that being said, I don't know if they actually are hybridized dinosaurs just yet, and I don't think anyone really has that information that's just a fan, but it does look like that's the direction they're trying to go in. And I think it could work, but I'm also of the opinion that we can't just keep having to do like a bigger dinosaur each and every movie for the big bad. This makes sense if it is hybrid dinosaur prototypes, but like, let's not rely on this for the future of the entire Jurassic Park franchise, because the truth is you could just have a simple T-Rex, or even redeem the Giganotosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion by having that be the focus of a film's plot and just dive into some scientific paleontology or even modern animal behavior theories around that animal and the environment it lived back in the day, and how that would translate into a modern genetic clone recreation. You do a T-Rex movie where it's just T-Rex taking out dinosaurs left and right and they've got to run from it, believe it or not, people will still pay to watch that. But the Distortus Rex does look cool, so I'm gonna look forward to seeing what they actually do with this whole thing in the final cut of the movie. Those are my theories for how the relationship with the Distortus Rex is going to go down with the Mutadons in the film. I think they're new animal prototypes that came out all messed up like what David Koepp said in an interview from a while back. But hey guys, those are all just my own thoughts and opinions on the subject matter. What do you think about this new information about the pressurized tanks? Why are they keeping it in there? What does interspecies symbiosis mean? And if it was a success, then why does it look all messed up like this? Whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video. And as always, take it easy.